Hi, this is Michael Rony Mullick, and you're watching the Week Ahead Show. And let us discuss about the past week briefly, and then we will move on to the next week. So, in the last week, we had saw Nifty ending in the green, but not significantly. There was some profit booking happening, and the markets tried multiple times to close above 17,400, but the market could not. So, in the last week, Nifty was up around 1.39 percentage, up by 239 points, and Bank Nifty was also up, but it could not close above 38,000 for the week. It ended at 37,921, up by 429 points or 1.14 percentage. So both the indices ended slightly in the green, but the rally in the previous week was much higher than this week. So obviously the markets have run up quite a bit, and we are looking some kind of profit booking. Also, the China-Taiwan geopolitical tensions are also there, and that has been making the markets volatile throughout last week. Especially on Thursday, it was a huge move. Market made huge moves on either sides. So things are volatile, and the markets are facing stiff resistance on the upside, especially around 17,500 levels for Nifty. Apart from that, last week we have, on Friday especially, we had the RBI policy decision. It was a non-event. They increased the repo rate by 50 basis point, which was slightly higher than expectation, but the markets did not react in a very negative way. Apart from that, the jobs data from US came, and it was excellent figures. 250,000 jobs were set to be added. The figure came at more than 528,000 jobs, and that was extremely good. But still the US markets fell because more amount of job means people have more money. That means more inflation, and what will happen is the Federal Reserve is very likely to increase the interest rates by another 75 basis points, and that can push the markets towards recession as well. So thinking of all these things, US markets were slightly down on Friday. So let us see where the markets open on Monday. We have to wait and see. So these were some of the highlights. Apart from that, we have definitely seen that the foreign institutional buyers for 5 continuous days last week, they have been net buyers, and they have bought for around 7,000 crores in the last week. And DIIs, the domestic institutional investors, they have sold for around 2,000 crores. So foreign institutional investors, after many months of relentless selling, have finally turned net buyers continuously for 1 week. Now going ahead, we have to see if this trend continues or this is just a short-term thing. So we have to wait and watch these things in the next upcoming days and weeks ahead. Apart from that, we have let us look at SGX Nifty and see where it has ended. So SGX Nifty ended slightly negative because US markets were down. So US markets and the SGX Nifty ended at 17,340 for the week, which indicates around 50-60 points gap down, because I told you the US markets were down on Friday near the closing hours. So, and apart from that, the India VIX, it had fallen to 16.5 around those levels, but then it shot up towards the end, and right now India VIX on Friday closed around 18.9. So it is on the slightly higher if you compare what was happening in the last few days, but it is still fine. So now let us look at what we can expect in the coming days. So in the coming days, definitely tomorrow, what you can expect, the most important thing is State Bank of India. It came out with its result on Saturday, and the results are below expectation. So it's most likely there could be a sell-off in this stock. So definitely watch out for State Bank of India. It is trading at 531. It is already down 4% from its recent high, and we were thinking that it might break its all-time high and move above, but that is not the case. And tomorrow, if there is markets are reacting negatively, we can expect it to fall towards 519 in the coming days. So definitely keep an eye out for this stock, State Bank of India, for tomorrow's trade, because it will be reacting to its results. So State Bank of results that has been there today, and apart from that, next week it is a truncated session. It means that on Tuesday there's a market holiday because of Muharram. So markets are open for only 4 days next week, and for next expiry we have only 3 trading sessions: Monday, Wednesday and Thursday. So Option premiums are already low because of one day being a holiday. Apart from that, next week we have some quarterly results coming in from some Nifty 50 stocks. So what are the stocks? I'll name out a few. The stocks are Bharti Airtel. Bharti Airtel has its results tomorrow, and if you look at the charts again, Bharti Airtel tomorrow the results are after market hours, but Bharti Airtel has closed above 700 levels, and there was some good volume as well towards the first half, but it tried to go and touch around 710 was the high on Friday, but it again ended lower than that. So we have to see if Bharti Airtel breaks yesterday's low, that was around 698, then we can expect further bearishness. But if it continues to move higher, then we can expect some bullishness in the stock and maybe a positive news. So Bharti Airtel is definitely, you can watch out for this. It will be reacting to its results on Tuesday because the results tomorrow will come after market hours. So next week Bharti Airtel is coming up with these results. Then we have Adani Port, Power Grid, Coal India, Eicher Motors, Hindalco, Tata Consumers, Davis Lab, and Grasim, Hero Motocorp, and ONGC. So these are the some of the Nifty 50 stocks that will be coming out with its results, and obviously markets will be reacting to their results. So you can watch out for these stocks, and as and when the results come, you can trade accordingly. Apart from that, come on the economic calendar front, we have some important data coming out next Wednesday. So next Wednesday, you will be watching out for two things. One is the Chinese inflation data, which comes at 7 a.m. Indian Standard Time in the morning, and very importantly, next week is same for Wednesday 6 p.m. after market hours. The US inflation data is likely to come. Last time it was at 9.1%. This time we're expecting slightly lower inflation at 8.7%. We have to wait and see what happens. And core inflation data is more important because core inflation and inflation, the difference is core inflation data does not consider the food and energy prices. So it is mostly focused on discretionary spendings, and in that the expectation is likely to go up. So 6.1% is the expectation. So 0.2% higher than last month's inflation data is what people are expecting. So we have to see what are the data, and this data will definitely be important. It will make the markets in the US volatile, and Indian markets on Thursday will be quite volatile because of this. So this is on Wednesday. Thursday, I think there's nothing important. No, there's nothing important on Thursday, but next Friday we have the UK GDP data coming out at 11:30 a.m. in the morning, and they're expecting a negative GDP growth rate in UK. So we have to wait and see how the markets react over there. And Friday after market hours, Indian inflation data is going to be announced, and this is going to be important. But last time the inflation data came at 7.01%. So this time you have to see, where the expectations are not yet out. They are expecting around 6.9%, so slightly lower inflation rate than last time, but it is higher than the RBI's level of 4 to 6%. So markets will be reacting to this only on next Monday. So we will discuss this in the next week's show. But for now, so these are the important data that are coming out in the next over the week, over the course of the next week. So now coming to the most important, the expectation for the next week, the levels obviously. So on our upside, 17,500 has the highest amount of call build up. So 17,500 and 7,600, these are the levels to watch out for in Nifty, and on the lower side 17,000 is what you can watch out for. Put call ratio is at 0.8, which indicates slight bearishness in the market. So definitely it is so things are looking slightly bearish, and in Bank Nifty as well, huge amounts of call buildups are there. Put call ratio at 0.85, which indicates slight bearishness as well. So on the higher side, 38,500 has the highest amount of call buildup, and on the lower side we see 37,000 having the highest amount of put buildup. So 37 to 38.5 is the range for the next week. That is what people are expecting. And so this is the open interest wise data. And if you want to look at some price action wise data, so if you look at the weekly chart of Nifty, we will see that Nifty is also at a very important level of resistance. So this is a trend line. You can see the markets have respected this trend line multiple times, and we are very close to this range, so we have to see how the markets react from this level. So markets had already run up quite significantly, and it is likely to take some kind of resistance here. It is already facing a good amount of resistance over here, and if the markets are not able to break 17600 levels in this week, we can expect the markets to fall. So the view should be on slightly cautiously bearish side is what I'll say. So keep that in mind, not expecting huge amount of bullishness from here until and unless 17600 is broken on the upside and markets close above that level. So until that is happening, we can expect some profit booking to kick in into the markets. Coming to Bank Nifty is also facing a good amount of resistance to break 38,000 and go higher. So that has to be taken into consideration. So Bank Nifty is also facing quite amount of resistance trying to move up. So Bank Nifty, you can expect, if the markets are closing above last week's high, then we can expect the markets to move close to 38,800 or 39,000 in the coming week. But if last week's low is broken, we can expect that is 37,300. If that is broken, we can expect the markets to fall towards 36,300 in the next week. And in case of Nifty, similarly, last week's high and low is important. So the low is around 17,180. So if that is broken, we can expect further downside, and on the upside 17,500, 490,500. If that is broken, we can expect some kind of upside, but 17,600 and above closing is very important, and we have to wait and watch for that. So now let us look into some price action levels for tomorrow. You can see the Nifty is following a trend line. So if tomorrow there's a big gap down, and in case the Asian markets are trading in the negative, we can expect the markets to fall further, and markets should take a resistance near 17,220 levels, because you can see the importance of multiple times the markets have taken support over there. So 17,220 is an important level you can watch out for. Apart from that, on the upside, what you can see is definitely yesterday's high of 17,460 is what you can watch out for, 460, 470 levels, and then 17,488. If that is broken, you can take a slightly bearish, slightly bullish trade with a stop loss at around 17,450 levels with a risk to reward ratio of 1:2 probably. In case of Bank Nifty, same thing. If yesterday's high or low is broken, you can expect a further move on either side. It is likely that Bank Nifty can break yesterday's low, and in case that happens, it can move towards 37,630 on the lower side, and where it can take support and further move up. In case things are looking good, if yesterday's high of 38,150 is broken, you can move towards 38,200 or 300 levels for tomorrow. So these are the views for the coming week and tomorrow as well. So next week, let us see how the markets are trading. I told you the view is on slightly on the bearish side now, so be cautiously bearish. We're not expecting huge crashes in the market, but slight correction is due in the markets, because the markets have run up quite significantly, and this is where the markets have turned quite volatile. So the markets have to make a move on either direction. So let us see which direction the market moves. So for now, this is all I have for the week ahead show. Thank you for watching, and have a very good night.